Coach, you had some good individual performances in the game at Nebraska. Let's start with Sean Patrick, the young redshirt freshman running back. 67 yards, had a long run of 25.
Yeah, impressive performance by Sean against a quality opponent, and was on a similar pace in the Wyoming game until he got injured. So a lot of potential for Sean. He's had some nice production the first two games, and hopefully we can build on that moving forward.
Yeah, a lot of your wide receivers too are starting to get open. You got to get in the football. Like the young guy I thought played well was Marcel Williams, a transfer from Marshall.
Yeah, essentially that group had almost zero experience coming into the season outside of Izzy Polk, who was a part-time starter last year. So, a bunch of talent. We believe we got to do a better job protecting, getting open. We got to be more accurate, and ultimately it's their job. They got to catch the ball. But Marcel's certainly a guy that has shown through two games, when the ball is thrown his way, he's been able to make some plays.
Linebacker Shimon Cooper was not overwhelmed by anything. He had a great game, 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss.
Yeah, and really excited for Shimon. He, was back up to Brian McCoy last year, who's moved on and had a nice couple games for Oklahoma State. But Shimon's a guy that's been worked hard. Really not a super vocal guy, does it more by example. But for him to come out and have 11 tackles, 9 solo against Nebraska, yeah, the moment wasn't too big for him. And like I said, a bunch of positives to take away, and hopefully he can continue to build on it as the season progresses.
A lot of young football players in their team, Coach, they kind of got indoctrinated to big-time football, hard-hitting football Saturday night in Lincoln.
Yeah, that's certainly a baptism by fire. And I think we only had 2 returning starters on offense, Ben and Keelan, and then Alex, if you count him, and basically the same on defense. But one of the things we talk about, and I don't think you can comprehend it until you experience it, is not being surprised by the speed or physicality of the game. And it's difficult to replicate in practice what you're going to see in a Big Ten environment against a team of that caliber. And I think there were some guys that early on and throughout the course of the game were a little surprised how fast it moves and how hard they hit against a team like Nebraska.
Another road game Saturday, Coach, this time down in Birmingham against UAB. They came in at 1-1. But a pretty good football team.
They are talented, well coached. Coach Dilfer's done a nice job progressively, building that up after taking over for Coach Clark, and they had a shootout against Alabama State and a close one against Navy until the tail end of it, as you mentioned in the coach's show. A couple rain delays there, but as always, our level of preparation doesn't change relative to the opponent, and obviously we've got to practice better. Got to play harder and execute at a higher level and have a chance to beat a team down on the road in Alabama.
Faced a really good quarterback last week in Lincoln, Nebraska. You got another challenge this week in Jalen Kitten, a 6'5", 225-pound senior.
Yeah, that Rayola kid, he's something special. I mean, he's going to be exciting to watch in the next few years and have an opportunity to play on Sunday. But Kitten, son of John Kitten, the NFL quarterback. And I think you mentioned threw for over 300 against Navy, and I think something similar against Alabama State. So, yeah, a guy that can chuck it around. Very talented and speedy receiving core, and good scheme. So he's a guy that you talk about. Don't let the game records wreck the game. He's the type of guy that if you allow him, he can make it tough on you.